the profitability of yam farming, right?
Yes,
and
we're
like
back to yam again.
Like Rochelle said, we did it. We started with this when the show started last November. And so we started an investment project, actually, which we tagged the Yam Millionaire program. And we're about to kick off the 2.0. That's the season 2 of the Yam Millionaire program. We're supposed to have a guest, but he's not here yet. So while we're waiting for the guest, I want to tell you other things that we have planned out, right?
Okay.
Starting from the month of August all the way to 2025, we've tagged this our investment season, right?
Okay.
We've told you a lot of things. We've told you about export. We've told you about farming. We've told you about processing, things that you have to do to make money in 2024. But incidentally, 2024 is fast running out. Yeah. We are on the 8th month already. And a lot of you are not doing the things that we asked you to do. The feedback I'm getting is that a lot of people are saying, I don't know how to do it on my own. I need, some guidance. I need somebody to take me by the hand and guide me through, right? And so that's why we've decided to tag, this season from August to 2025, to about April of 2025, our investment season, right? And so we have a number of investment programs laid out, and I'm going to be talking to you about them while we wait for our guest to walk into the studio. So number one is the Yam Millionaire program, season 2 or 2.0, if you want to call it that. And this gives you an opportunity, to invest in farming. And this is a farming by proxy project, right? A lot of you know that agriculture is creating the next set of millionaires in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. And especially with high inflation, one of the investments that you can make right now and be sure that you can't go wrong and you can't lose your money is agriculture. People have to eat, right? And agriculture saves your personal or your corporate economy from this high inflation of, we have a food inflation of about 40%. What does that mean? The farmer is making a lot of money. The farmer is actually cashing out. So we want you to be one of those people cashing out. And that's why we are bringing back the Yam Millionaire program. So there are 2 categories of investors. One is a solo investor who has all the money, to control at least 6 plots of yam in sack farm, right? Or as many as possible. In the last investment season, we had people who actually invested for more than 6 plots, right? So you can do the basic of 6 plots, or you can do 12 plots, or you can actually do 18 plots as your investment can carry. It's profitable. And if you want to know more about the details and, the return on investment, you're going to call. On account of time, I can't read it out right now. But you can call the number that we're going to give you shortly for more details. Then you have the shared investor, just like we had last year, right? A shared investor is somebody who does not have the money to take up 6 plots on their own, right? And then they actually find 15 people that they can combine their investments with to be able to achieve 6 plots, 6 plots basically gives you about 12,000 tubers of yam, right? And when we started this last year, yam was selling for 3,500. We calculated our profitability at 3,500 per tuber, or at the most 4,000. But today, yam is selling for between 5,000 and 12,000 naira, depending on the locality. Yeah. In Abuja and Lagos, yam is selling for 12,000 naira. Now, in Enugu here, a small tuber of yam that's not as long as the length of my arm, is selling for 5,000-6,000. So really, the farmer is cashing out. Why don't you join the Yam Millionaire program and make yourself some money, right? In preparation for 2025. So that's the Yam Millionaire program. The numbers will be coming shortly. But if you want to know that before the next show, if you want to know what the numbers are before the next show, feel free to call the number that we're going to give you shortly and we'll tell you all about it. Now, the second thing we have is processing. It's a Gary Investor, right? The Gary Investor program, right? This means this is an opportunity for you to invest in Gary. A painter of Gary is selling for, Rochelle, do you know how much? 3,000 at least?
Yeah.
3,000. It went up to 4,000 at some point, but it crashed back down to about 3,000, 2008, right? So, we want to also give you an opportunity to invest in Gary processing, and, you can invest as little as 500,000 to 1 million to 500,000 to 5 million. It's profitable, right? And what we do here is process Gary, bag them up like they bag rice. Bag them up properly in this properly branded bags and sew them up and then supply them all over Nigeria and actually go the length of exporting them as well. And so that's an opportunity for you to make money through Gary processing. And then the last one that we have for now is the Niger Trade House. We told you about export and trade houses, right? And a lot of people are interested, but they are scared about this. So we want to open up an investment opportunity for you to invest in a trade house, we call it a Niger Trade House. And so we have 3 countries that we want to, reel out in the next couple of months. So we will start with Cape Verde, right? Cape Verde is a 10-island archipelago in the middle of Atlantic Ocean. It's a former Portuguese colony. It's a small, peaceful country, but has very stable economy, right? And it's a very profitable place to set up a business. And so what we want to do is open up a trade house there. What these trade houses are is that we will call it a Niger Trade House, but it will be a big complex where Nigerian goods will be showcased. Now, who can get involved? People who are manufacturers. I'll give you an example. Somebody like, let me not call a brand name. Somebody who manufactures spare parts at the newbie can decide, okay, they want to be part of this trade house, right? And so they can walk up to us and they say, okay, I understand that to be part of this project, I have to invest some money, but I don't want to invest cash. I have goods that I want to put in this trade house, right? Mm-hmm. So what we would do for that person is carve out a shop, something like a cubicle at this trade house for this business, solo for their own products, right? So he pays for rent. He pays us a certain amount to give him that location, that space, right? So what we do is that we set up that space for him, put our Arcada sales app there at a computer to make sales, put a POS there. So this particular cubicle at this product is paid into a bank account open for him, open for this particular business. So let's say the business is XYZ Limited. So we open this cubicle for XYZ Limited. He ships his goods to this location and we put it in this cubicle and begin to sell it for him. So every sale made goes into an account open for him individually. Now, some other person can say, okay, I don't want a solo cubicle. I want to just invest, right? So I'm putting down a slot is as little as 1 million naira. I'm putting down 1 million naira. So what this means is that we open up like a supermarket, sort of. But this supermarket will contain only made in Nigerian goods, because what we're promoting are made in Nigerian goods. We're trying to make business profitable, more profitable for Nigerian investors who own businesses here, but are struggling to sell. The reason behind this trade house is that we've told you how many businesses are struggling right now in Nigeria because the Nigerian worker is not earning enough money. The Nigerian family is not earning enough income, and then they're not spending. Because they're not spending, businesses are dying. So what we're trying to do for you, whether you're at Ogbete main market, you're at Keyenta main market, you're at the streets of New Haven, you're at the streets of GRA, but you own a business, you own a shop, or you don't even own a shop, but you want to be part of this project, what you have to do is buy a slot or 2 or 3 or 10 slots. But each slot is 1 million. Now remember, this is international business, right? So when this trade house is set up, we'll carry goods from Nigeria and put it in the general section of this shop. We take goods that we know that these countries want to buy from Nigeria, but can't order it straight from Nigeria. We're bringing it to their doorsteps so that they can walk into this trade house and actually purchase any of these goods, right? So at the end of the month, everything that's made at the trade house is paid into the bank, of course. So we will ask the bank to actually transfer that money in US dollar to a bank account, a trade house bank account in Nigeria, and that money is sent back here. So we're receiving everything in dollars, right? So at the end of 6 months or 1 year, as the case may be, we sum up all the profit that was made from this business and actually divide it accordingly, according to your own investment. So you can actually be a solo investor in this project, where you just take up a cubicle and we'll tell you how much it will cost to actually set up a cubicle, open a bank account in this country for you, put a POS there and a sales app there, right? That's one way you can be part of it. Now, you can also be just an individual investor who just puts in money, right? Now, you can also be a manufacturer, or you have goods in Nigeria, but you don't want to give us money. What you want is to put your goods in this trade house, but you don't want to take an individual cubicle. Well, your goods will actually come into under the category of the general sales room, right? There we take your goods and we put it on the shelf with every other goods coming from Nigeria. So when things are sold, we calculate what was sold. We remit the rest to you, right? So it's really an opportunity for us to practicalize the things we've been teaching the last almost 1 year, right? Yes. And so it's an opportunity for you to practicalize the things that we've been teaching and make a lot of money, and not in Naira this time. It's in US dollars, right? So this is what we have real out. I remember I said the Young Millionaire Program, the Gary Investor Program, and the Niger Trade House. So these are the three we have for now. If you need to know more, you can just call us. Our guest just walked in. And we don't have a lot of time, but we'll switch immediately to
maybe
to the
we're going
discussions.
to have a second version of the conversation. We
probably.
can just start and stop somewhere. Welcome, sir. You are just joining us. We've been looking forward to having you here in the studio.
Yeah.
So we have Mr. Francis Eze. He is an agricultural consultant and the Chief Executive Officer, Vital Vibrant Youth and Women Initiative, V&V. It's a pleasure to have you join us in our studio this morning.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mr. Francis.
So sorry I'm late.
It's
No
all right.
problem. We understand. As long as you're going to come back here to finish what you are going to start this morning.
Yeah.
No problem.
Are you committing to that?
Trust me.
Okay, you're welcome. So basically, last year we started promoting yam farming, right? And we see how profitable it is, and we started talking about it. We started giving people opportunities to invest in the program. And this year you're joining us in this amazing project that we're talking about. So we want to ask you a few questions about yam farming, right? Okay, first of all, how does one go into yam farming? Do you have to acquire a university degree, or do you have to take some kind of course to become a yam farmer? That's my first question, more common. Yeah.
I believe you don't need all that to get into yam farming.
Yeah.
Basically, yam is an ancient crop that has survived the race for a very long time.
Okay.
And by birth, I believe we are farmers. I keep saying that because what your great-grandfather has been doing to survive themselves, they don't have grocery stores where they pick things they need like today. They have everything in their backyard. And most importantly, yam is consumed by everybody.
That's right.
Because the first thing you do in business for whom to produce. You produce it for yourself, for the world, for the nationwide. And the yam is the simplest thing to do. And in this region of our size in Nigeria, in the east, we have comparative advantage for crop farmings.
Okay.
Crop farmings that areas like root farmings, crop root farmings, examples is yam, cassava, potato, and all whatnot.
Okay.
And you just need to put the yam, cut your head of your yam inside the land. The miracle is done by
nature
himself.
Yeah.
Even from examples in your backyard when you used to peel yams and dump them somewhere, or when you buy yams and keep them inside the house where it has no air, no light, you come and start seeing the yam growing.
Sprouting.
So you see, yam is the easiest thing to do.
Okay, so you don't need a university degree to become a yam.
You just need
farmer.
to accept the want to farm yam.
All right. So how profitable is yam farming? How profitable is it?
It's most profitable part of sector of crop farming currently, because innovations in farming yam has made yam so profitable, reduce the cost of EOP, cost of production, less than up to 45% off from the existent one.
Yeah.
And giving look, if you want to do export of yams, the export size in yam you do in back sacks, it means you can do more number inside your house. You don't need to go to face herdsmen, you need to go to face clearing and dozing of land.
Okay.
Just get a sack bag inside your house, in your kitchen, in every way you have space. Just like before now, we have flowers inside our houses for crop ventilations. So the same thing with yam, and it just comes out well.
Beautiful. Now, the reason we started announcing this was because, of course, we knew that farmers were facing a lot of challenges with herdsmen and attacks and all of that, right? Or cattle herders, coming and eating up their crops with their herd, right? And so we learned about the yam and sack farming, and we started promoting them, and a lot of people actually gravitated toward that, right? So I want you to throw some light on yam in sack farming. Tell us what that is and why it's better than the conventional, farming of yam.
In life, innovation is everything. Elaborating an existing idea, adding something new, different in it.
Yes.
Normally, when we used to farm as a culture, we believe yam is a year program. When you farm for you put it in towards up before the rain comes, and you harvest after the rain. But really, yam is just a 5 month crop.
Wow.
And
it's a 5 month crop.
Yes, it's a 5 month crop. Just that it's a very strong seedling that hardly dies. If there is no water, it's just sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Waiting for water to come.
Okay.
When water touches it, it's awake.
Yeah. Okay, so you can actually harvest in 5 months.
That is the period of yam.
Beautiful.
Just 5 months. And with irrigation and with your back sump system, you can do round the clock. At least you have 5 months in a year.
Yes.
So you're sure of those ones. And why is
does that affect? Would that affect the size?
No,
the 5 months.
No. Yam is in full 5 months age harvest.
Wow.
In its fullness, just 5 months.
I'm excited about this news.
Just 5 months. Just that the conventional way we do it as a culture. You farm yam and the crop with cassava and all whatnot.
Yes.
You harvest when there is holidays time again.
Yeah.
So working with the 12 months calendar.
Okay.
Yam health movement is from the day you plant sprouts to 5 months you harvest.
Wow.
Even at the 5th month, you start seeing the leaves showing you that I'm ready to harvest.
Okay.
Start throwing a yellowish color.
Yeah.
Start growing a brown, drying off color. Because what it does, when it's growing, the leaves are very fresh and green. When it's ready for harvest, the leaves is going back to the crops.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So farming with sack is everything. One, it saves you plenty costs. It saves you cost of clearing, cost of looking for land lease, because we have land tenure problem in the east.
Yes.
It saves you so lot of things. And more importantly, it's organic.
Yeah.
You select what you put in. All you need to do, get your sand right, get your sand mixing right. Of course, you need to add some animal dropping to help it boost up if you want to use fertilizer. But if you're farming with sand, you don't need fertilizer because you have a control system. The surface is just small, but the sand is big.
Yeah.
So it gives you more advantage, and that the crop itself enjoys the money, and you're going to fight with what's it called, grasses.
Yes.
And the weeding process is just 0 to nothing. You don't need to weed actually because it's just to cover the surface.
Yes.
When it sprouts up, you make a hole, put your rope for a guide, cover the surface with a small nylon. So there will be no need for weeding.
Yeah.
So it saves you the cost of feeding, it saves you cost of land problem, it saves you cost of what's it called? Cost of
harvesting, labor and all of that.
So all these processes cut from the EOP, 55% of the EOP is cost of.
Beautiful.
So once you have your sack bag prepared right, just put your yam seedling, that's all.
So it's essentially profitable.
It's very, very essentially profitable.
Thank you for that.
And also, from what you said, doesn't mean that yam farming is not a seasonal farming. Because we have some crops that are farmed at a certain period of time. So you said it's just a period of 5 months for the cultivation and the harvesting. So it doesn't have any particular season that it's so peculiar to farming yam.
You know, culturally we farm seasonally, but innovation has come. Why we farm seasonally is that we farm depending on the rainfall. Believe me, no crops is seasonal.
That's true. I agree because with greenhouses, actually, people are farming all year round. Yes.
So just when the crops has water is life, and at moderate it needs it.
Yes. So
you don't flood it with water. At moderate it needs it. You farm all year round.
I agree with that.
Other places and some places has moved off seasonal farming. It's no longer in existence. You farm. You're even currently last program with the CBN was trying to advertise was farming during the harmattan time. Farm off around the clock. Do your normal farming. You do when the rain comes. When the rain is not there, you do your irrigation. That's why we have the irrigation system.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So comparing, the conventional way of farming yam and this advanced way of farming yam, what would you say are the risks associated with, should I say, the advanced way of farming it? Yeah.
Just like the name applies, let's leave the risk first. Because what motivates everybody is money.
Yeah, it's money, but you said it was also prepared. Okay, go ahead.
Like initially we'll do agriculture. Currently we'll preach about agri as a business.
Yes.
Agribusiness. So when you have the mind agribusiness, it will bring you to light that the new innovation gives you more profit. And believe me, it has off 60% the risk you face in the conventional system. In the conventional system, you don't have control over it. It's open. That's why it has so many battles with insecticides and herbicides and infections that move by the wings. But in this system of farming, you have control over what you have.
Yes.
If it's in a greenhouse system, you dictate what the plants breed and what does not breed.
Okay.
And so it has advantages all around. All these are modifying the old time. When you modify something, you remove the risk, you kill risk mortality and increase productivity to make profit.
Yeah, to add to that before we go to the next segment of the show, for me, the major risk that farmers were facing was with herdsmen, with cattle, right? And so that's why I got excited about yam farming, really, because actually you can actually do it in an enclosed area with fence and gates, and this is what we're doing, right? So we are setting up these farms in a location that is actually fenced and gated, so that no herdsmen can get there, no cattle can get there. So for me, that eliminates the risk. And so using a professional also to set up this yam, like a consultant like you, I would say it's zero risk, actually, and that's why we're bringing it to people, for investment. If it's something that I would say I wasn't sure about it, of course I wouldn't bring it here, because at the end of the day, I'll be the one, hold by the collar, asking what happened to their money. So really, the yam in sack system for me is safe, and that's why we're bringing that to you. On account of time, we will leave it right there. I want to thank you again, Mr. Francis, for coming. But you committed to coming back, and definitely you want to come back. We'll hold you. We'll hold you at your word. Yeah. So that's Mr. Francis is a yam. He's an agri consultant and an aggregator for Enugu State as well. Thank you for coming today.